Hi, Cory. So now we're going to start the second part of our interview. I explained it to you and your mom originally. First interview was me, you, and your mom, and we were talking about her concerns about how you're getting a little distracted in school. You seem a little depressed at times. You're not bringing home your homework. So this portion is just to get to know you and how you're feeling about school. It's going to be a 30-minute interview. Just a couple of questions, and I'd appreciate if you answer them as honestly as possible. Just to reiterate some points that I said to you and your mom earlier, is that I work Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. I'll give you a pamphlet at the end that has my email address, the office phone number, and my cell phone number, all to reach me through those hours, and after-hour contact. If it is an emergency, I would suggest to you and your mom to go to your closest emergency room. And I'd like to reiterate again that this is confidential. I said that with you and your mom, but this also includes now that I won't share anything with your mom that you don't want me to, unless I think that your life is in danger or it's safety-wise. Does that make sense?
Mm.
Okay. So I guess the beginning of this interview, I'd just like to get to know you as a person. So what interests you? Do you like anything at school? Any after-school activities?
Well, I play baseball. I really like baseball. I like watching it. I pretty much played it my whole life.
Oh, that's great. What got you interested in baseball? Did you play with your brother, your dad, anyone like that?
My dad used to just throw around the ball with me a lot. And, we started watching baseball. I took over to my first game when I was like 7.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. So, like I said earlier, your mom was a little concerned that you were distracted in school and forgetting your homework. But how do you think school's going?
I think it's fine, I guess. I mean, some of the teachers are kind of annoying, but other than that, try to do my work.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're forgetting your homework at all, or a new thing maybe, you've noticed that you're having a little bit more difficulty in school?
Yeah, a little. I mean, like, I bring most of my homework, and I don't know, sometimes I just forget.
Yeah. And what about problems with your teachers? Any, like, detentions or anything like that maybe in the beginning of the year you weren't getting?
Yeah, I had a couple. One of them was kind of silly. I just, freaked out at the teacher, but we're fine now.
Yeah. What caused you to freak out about it?
I forgot my homework, and then she got mad at me because it happened a couple times before.
Okay.
And just gave me detention.
Yeah. So, do you think that anything might have started why you were feeling a little upset in school or forgetting homework? Anything that might have, triggered that upsetting?
Probably what happened in baseball. I hurt my shoulder, and then I'm not going to be able to play much longer.
Okay. So, how long have you been playing baseball for your high school?
I've been playing for a couple of years now.
Okay. So baseball means a lot to you?
Yeah.
Okay. And when did you hurt your shoulder? Was it this year?
Yeah, it was over the fall.
Okay. Okay. And is it serious enough that you need surgery for it? Okay. So you're not going to be able to play this season? No. And that's very upsetting to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's understandable. So you said you played baseball in the fall. Is that like a fall?
Fall ball.
Okay. And it just gets you ready for the season upcoming? Okay. What did you do after, you played baseball in the fall? Did you have any problems with your homework then, or is it just a new thing?
During like the winter and like coming up to the baseball season was kind of like easy because I didn't have baseball. I kind of just was able to focus on work.
Yeah.
I still like practice every once in a while, but
okay.
That was fine, I guess.
Yeah. And so now when you go home and you don't have baseball right now because you're in that little middle between fall ball and the spring, what do you do at home? Does anything interest you at home? I know your mom said that, sometimes you'll play a board game and you'll just stop playing, and sometimes, you'll watch TV and then you just shut it off.
Yeah, not really.
Not really. So nothing really interests you when you go home? No.
No.
Okay, so if you had a friend in your friend group that was feeling how you're feeling right now, how would that friend act in your group? Would he be eager to hang out? Would he be fun? Would he be a little distant? How would you describe that friend in that group?
I think that he'd want to hang out. He just probably doesn't have the nerve to like say anything, or I don't know.
Okay. So when you do hang out with your friends in particular, what do you guys do for fun?
We play video games. We play catch sometimes.
Okay. And I know, this is a tricky age in high school, and there is statistically a lot of teenage drinking, so that's why I'm going to ask you if there's any drugs or alcohol involved. And I know, again, this is a very awkward question, and I just want to remind you that whatever you say stays between us, and I won't share it with your mom or anyone. So is there any, alcohol or drugs involved when you hang out with your friends?
Yeah. Me and my friends, we go out like every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
We go out like Friday night or like Saturday and we'll drink.
Okay. Do you feel like now, not since, the shoulder issue, you feel like you'd be more likely to have more drinks with your friends or gravitate to that? Or do you feel like you just pull back from your friends in general?
I think I'd probably have like more time to drink because I'm like not playing baseball, so I don't have to like worry about it.
Okay. So I guess just to reiterate some questions that I asked you with your mom, I just want to go over some of the answers that you had. This way, feel free to interrupt something you might not have felt so comfortable saying with your mom there, or something maybe you just didn't remember, just to go over your general health. So the first question I want to ask you is, have you had to take any medicine, any medications for anything over the past year, or if you're allergic to any medications that she may not have mentioned?
Well, she said all the stuff I'm allergic to, and I did take medicine when I got strep throat, like 4 months ago or something.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, that's good. So do you feel that overall, other than, your shoulder being sore and sometimes feeling a little overwhelmed with school, do you feel overall that your health is in good condition?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I could get up and go to school, so yeah.
Okay. And what about any problems with headache or, difficulty sleeping or waking up, something like that? Anything?
I'm like not the best sleeper. It's kind of hard to like fall asleep, and then when I do fall asleep, I normally wake up a couple times.
Okay. Do you think there's any reason? Are you thinking about things before you go to bed, or maybe watching too much TV, or have you noticed any patterns like that?
I'm just like stressed about like schoolwork and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
And like baseball.
Okay. And when you're stressed about schoolwork and things like that, is there anything that you've ever done, to maybe help with that stress? Anyone you've talked about or talked to help with that? No. Okay, that's fine. And what about eating? Do you eat 3 meals a day? Any problems with that? No?
Sometimes I skip breakfast because I'm late for school, but
Okay. That makes sense. It's pretty typical with your age group. So it seems to me that the shoulder injury might be the reason for why you're, feeling a little upset. Do you know, you use the word depressing, but do you know what that means? Do you have other descriptive words for that?
I mean, it's like bringing my mood down, kind of like, so.
Yeah, so basically how I would describe it, to someone your age is that you're in a funk, or sometimes, you're present, and like you said about, being in a friend group, you're there, but you're not really there, and it's hard for you to engage with other people. So I think that maybe your shoulder injury may be causing some of those feelings, but I want to know how you feel about the shoulder injury. We've talked about how you're stressed about school. Clearly your mom is visibly stressed out as well. But how do you feel about the injury itself?
I mean, it sucks because I can't play baseball and I have to get the surgery done, but I don't know. I have more time on my hands.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So now with this new injury and, more time thinking, just a question that I have to ask as a provider, do you have any thoughts of suicide or anything like that at all?
I mean, like, it crosses my mind. I've never done anything, but I've thought about it.
So no thoughts, no plans? Okay, but there have been times, when you've thought about it. What times were those, at your peak? Was there anything that was triggering those kinds of thoughts?
I think it was just like, those were days where like I might miss breakfast and have like a crappy day at school and then like not see my friends, and I'll kind of just be home not really doing anything.
Okay, that makes sense. So have you ever tried to talk to your mom about how you're feeling? I get the impression, that she is very focused on the school aspect of this. Have you verbalized how you're feeling about your shoulder and how much, baseball really means to you and you've worked so hard for it? Have you just, explained that that's, really bothering you at all to her?
Not really.
Not really.
She doesn't really understand how much I liked baseball, and she wants me to do better in school. She doesn't really see anything but
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Okay. So I think what would be helpful with your permission is maybe coming back together at another point and maybe just me verbalizing those for you if you don't feel comfortable enough, and maybe helping, create a much more pleasant environment at home that we can help with these feelings, if that's okay with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for opening up and answering those questions for me. Right now we're going to do another section of the interview. It's called the mental status exam. So I'm going to ask you to do a couple of tasks. They're going to seem a little weird, maybe funny, but what it's just going to help me is get your emotional cognitive state during our interview. And that's just really helpful for me to help gauge the process of where we're going. But at any time, feel free to ask why I'm doing it or what's going on, okay? So the first question is just what your name is.
Cory.
Okay. And where are you? What city are you in right now?
Quincy, Massachusetts.
Okay. And what's the date?
February 20th.
Great. Okay. Those ones were easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to name 3 objects, and I just want you to remember them, and I'm going to ask you at a later time, okay? So chair, ball, and pencil. Got it?
All right.
Okay. So can you spell world backwards for me?
TLROW.
Perfect. And then can you count back from 100 by 7? It's a little hard, I know.
93.
Yep.
86.
Yeah.
71. I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. All right, now I'm just going to pick up some objects and I just need you to give me the name. So what's this?
A camera.
Perfect. And what is this?
A stapler.
Perfect. Okay. So can you repeat the statement for me? No ifs, ands, or buts.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Perfect. All right, so I'm going to give you this piece of paper and I just need you to fold it and place it on the ground for me. Just put it on the ground. Good job. Okay, so now I'm going to write something on a piece of paper and I just need you to read it and do what it says, okay? All right, perfect. You can open them. All right, so lastly, I'm going to draw a picture on this piece of paper and I just need you to copy the picture, okay? Put it right there. And just copy the picture for me. Perfect. Now do you remember those 3 words I told you to remember?
Ball, pencil, and chair.
Perfect. You did wonderful. Okay, so I'm just going to recap just what we talked about today. So overall, I think that the issue that's causing these feelings, like we said, is your shoulder. So I would like to, go over some of those things that make you feel positive that are not related to baseball. So maybe before our next meeting, if it's possible, maybe you could write down 5 things that make you feel happy or make you feel good. They can be people, like places, things you like to do, but they can't involve baseball. Okay, so maybe, and then we can come back and we can discuss those and maybe discuss ways that we can involve you in your baseball team when unfortunately you can't play, ideally, in the way you'd like to. Another thing I just want to talk about again, is just the safety around drugs and alcohol. I know that with peer pressure and things like that, it's very hard at your age group, with alcohol and drugs, but feeling these depressive symptoms along with alcohol can actually create more depressive symptoms. So if we can avoid that for the time being while we really work on, getting you a strong baseline for feeling better, that will be awesome. Another thing too is that I just wanted to let you know that it is very normal what you're feeling. You're kind of grieving a loss of your shoulder, and that is normal, but we want to get you back to that high level of functioning and hope that you can do better in school, get your grades back up while, keeping that baseball aspect of your life still there. So do you think that that list is manageable before the next time we meet?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. The next thing is, how would you feel about me reaching out to your guidance counselor at school and not mentioning all the things we talked about, but maybe just like the stressors at school, and that way they could help create a plan that maybe, you could go talk to them in needs of, homework-wise if I'm not available. And that way, we can get a better grasp on the homework situation while we're tackling this issue here.
Sure.
Would that be okay? All right, awesome. So until then, like I said, I'll give you the pamphlet on our way out with my number on it. Feel free to contact me whenever. And if you have any questions or anything you wanted to remind me or tell me that you didn't feel like you got to tell me today, that's fine. And we'll work on a meeting with you and your mom. Sound good? Okay, good.